The 5th of February 2019 T 11 hours 28 minutes and 4 seconds, 523 Z. Hello and welcome to the Independent's coverage of the build-up to President Trump's second State of the Union address. The 5th of February 2019 T 11 hours 36 minutes and 8 seconds, 186 Z. As the President prepares to deliver his second State of the Union address following the curtailing of the longest U.S. government shutdown in history, trouble is afoot. Federal prosecutors from the U.S. Attorney's Office in New York have issued a subpoena demanding all documents from Mr. Trump's inauguration committee be turned over to its investigation into alleged funding irregularities. The criminal inquiry is examining whether some of the committee's donors, particularly foreign nationals, gave money in exchange for policy concessions, influencing administration positions or access to the incoming administration, according to the Wall Street Journal. Inaugural Committee spokeswoman Kristen Soloro confirmed it had received the order and was still reviewing it. "It is our intention to cooperate with the inquiry," she said. Here's Tom and Barry Dennis with the full story. The 5th of February 2019 T 11 hours 45 minutes and 26 seconds, 276 Z. President Trump was meanwhile finally clear to give his speech on the State of the Nation to the House of Representatives. The traditional address was originally scheduled for the 29th of January but had to be delayed due to the shutdown, an impasse caused by the president's demands for federal funding for his proposed border wall from sea to shining sea with Mexico. The Democrats, led by House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, stood firm, refusing to hand over a single red cent as Ms. Pelosi suggested the president submit his State of the Union by letter or from an alternative venue. He declined, but was not above denying the Speaker the use of a military plane to fly a congressional committee on a fact-finding mission to Brussels, Egypt and Afghanistan by way of revenge. Here's Clark Mindock with a reminder of that spectacularly petty episode. The 5th of February 2019 T 11 hours 52 minutes and 50 seconds, 100 Z. Once the president has given his address, taking place before a packed house at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight, the Democrats have the chance to nominate a candidate to issue their rebuttal, a custom in place since 1966. Last year, Massachusetts Democrat Joe Kennedy III, grandson of Bobby Kennedy and grandnephew of John F. Kennedy, was the chosen man and was widely praised for his performance. This time around, the duty falls to Georgia Stacey Abrams, a former romance novelist who narrowly lost out on her state's governorship after running against Republican Brian Kemp in November's midterms, a race marred by a voter suppression scandal. Here's Sarah Harvard with an introduction to Ms. Abrams. The 5th of February 2019 T 12 hours 15 minutes and 0 seconds. 000 Z. Here's a guide to the history of the State of the Union address, why it was introduced and how presidents have distinguished themselves at the podium. Some searing honesty from Gerald Ford here. The 5th of February 2019 T 12 hours 30 minutes and 0 seconds. 000 Z. And here's Chris Riota with 5 things to look out for, from news of the border wall to Nancy Pelosi's real-time reactions. The 5th of February 2019 T 12 hours 55 minutes and 0 seconds. 000 Z. Here's how you can watch Mr. T's big moment. The 5th of February 2019 T 13 hours 30 minutes and 0 seconds. 000 Z. One of the more eccentric aspects of the State of the Union is that members of the public can be invited to attend by the President and senior members of the House. Such guests are known as Lenny Skutniks, after the man Ronald Reagan paid tribute to in 1982 for his courage during the Air Florida Flight 90 crash, the bystander rescuing a passenger from Washington's Potomac River when the plane struck the Capitol's 14th Street Bridge just 2 miles from the White House. This year's Skutniks include an 11-year-old Delaware schoolboy named Joshua Trump, bullied because of his surname, Judah Samet, a survivor of the Holocaust and a mass shooting at the Tree of Life Synagogue, and the family of an elderly Nevada couple killed allegedly by an illegal immigrant. Alice Johnson will also be there, an Alabama grandmother given life imprisonment for a nonviolent drug offense who was granted clemency when Kim Kardashian West brought her case to the president. The 5th of February 2019 T 13 hours 55 minutes and 0 seconds. 000Z. In other Trump news, preparations are underway for the president's next summit with North Korea's Kim Jong-un. Here's Andrew Bunkum with more. The 5th of February 2019 T 14 hours 14 minutes and 39 seconds. 913Z. The president is awake, and now, pushing a human wall. He does appear to mean that literally, doesn't he? The 5th of February 2019 T 14 hours 22 minutes and 27 seconds. 950Z. As the below tweet indicates, Mr. Trump is tonight expected to continue the tactic employed in his Oval Office TV address of the 8th of January, in which he painted an alarmist picture of the scene on the U.S. southern border and labeled the situation a humanitarian and security crisis. How much more American blood must be shed before Congress does its job? He asked at the height of the 35-day shutdown. The president still hopes to secure the $5.7 billion he needs to get his signature campaign promise built and is set to throw down the gauntlet to the Democrats over the issue once more, again with the eyes of millions of Americans glued to their TVs. He is not expected to declare a national emergency, and Nancy Pelosi, sitting directly over his shoulder, is unlikely to change her position on the matter. The 5th of February 2019 T 14 hours 35 minutes and 0 seconds. 000Z. Rather than declare a national emergency, the president is likely to urge a congressional committee to work out a border security deal by that crucial the 15th of February deadline. Our old friend Kellyanne Conway says Mr. Trump has an absolute right to take the more extreme option, but would prefer that lawmakers forge a solution together. He wants Congress to finish its work and hopefully come to an agreement, put a deal on his desk that he will sign into law, she told reporters at the White House. The 5th of February 2019 T 14 hours 45 minutes and 0 seconds. 000Z. While President Trump is expected to seek to strike a conciliatory note with one eye on the 2020 election, his insistence on the wall makes the balancing act difficult. I'm for whatever works that prevents the level of dysfunction we've seen on full display here the last month, and also doesn't bring about a view on the president's part that he needs to declare a national emergency, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell told reporters last week. The 5th of February 2019 T 14 hours 55 minutes and 0 seconds. 000Z. On foreign policy, the Maduro crisis in Venezuela, the apparent demise of ISIS in Syria, and Mr. Kim are all set to be on the agenda. The speech was reportedly gone over with a fine-tooth comb late last night by Vice President Mike Pence, Acting Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney, campaign aides Corey Lewandowski and David Bossie, and Matt Schlapp, Chairman of the American Conservative Union. The 5th of February 2019 T 15 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. 000Z. BuzzFeed has just published a tranche of internal Trump Organization documents relating to the proposed Trump Tower Moscow project, following up their story alleging that Michael Cohen was told to lie to Congress about the precise date negotiations with Russia were curtailed. Robert Mueller himself dismissed the original report as not accurate, but the news sites say the papers show how secret negotiations unfolded while Trump was on the campaign trail, publicly praising Putin. Mr. Cohen, the president's estranged former right-hand man, is due to testify before Congress later this week. The 5th of February 2019 T 15 hours 20 minutes and 55 seconds. 143Z. The new documents are said to reveal Mr. Trump's ambition to build the tallest tower in Europe in the Russian capital. The usual hyperbole or a coherent vision from the former real estate magnate. Either way, his efforts to underplay the project as a passing fancy look pretty disingenuous. The 5th of February 2019 T 15 hours 35 minutes and 0 seconds. 000Z. Back to the State of the Union, where female legislators are being encouraged to wear suffragette white to tonight's address as an expression of solidarity. Potential 2020 Democratic presidential challengers Kamala Harris, Elizabeth Warren, and Kirsten Gillibrand could be among their number. Here's Katie Amelie with more. The 5th of February 2019 T 15 hours 45 minutes and 0 seconds. 000Z. The number one reason the State of the Union has such woes is the president, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer said on Monday. His adversary has just hit back. The 5th of February 2019 T 15 hours 55 minutes and 0 seconds. 000Z. More on what the president might say tonight. Sarah Huckabee Sanders appeared on Sean Hannity's Fox News show last night and said her boss would highlight his administration's achievements and downplay discord. Despite the shutdown, the U.S. economy did add 304,000 jobs in January, marking its 100th consecutive month of growth. Mr. Trump will not be shy about taking credit. You're going to continue to see the president push for policies that help continue the economic boom, she said. You're also going to see the president call on Congress and say, look, we can either work together and get great things done, or we can fight each other and get nothing done. And frankly, the American people deserve better than that. The 5th of February 2019 T 16 hours 10 minutes and 0 seconds. 000Z. Another matter the president is likely to claim credit for is the defeat of ISIS. Mr. Trump announced with some confidence a week before Christmas that the Islamist terrorist group had been defeated and that 2,000 American troops would duly be withdrawn from Syria. International military observers were quick to denounce the president's triumphalism as premature or naive, and, on the 20th of December, Secretary of Defense Jim Mattis resigned, telling Mr. Trump in his farewell letter the position should be held by someone whose views are better aligned with yours. His national security advisor John Bolton subsequently visited the Middle East to reassure the U.S.'s allies in the Syrian Democratic Forces they would be shielded from Turkish aggression, incurring the wrath of Recep Tayyip Erdogan in Ankara. ISIS is currently believed to hold just 3.9 square miles of territory in Syria, an area smaller than Central Park in New York City. But a Defense Department Inspector General's report published yesterday warns the group remains a potent force of battle-hardened and well-disciplined fighters that could likely resurge in Syria without an American presence.